Welcome to Rita's Kitchen. Today I've decided to show you guys how to make my version of braised short ribs topped with a red wine glaze sauce. But first thing first, in Rita's Kitchen, you all know what to do. Wash your hands. Go up your arm a bit, down your hand, in between your fingers, up underneath the nail bed. If that seems a bit too long, just do the happy birthday song once and you should be fine. We are trying to capture any type of germs before handling food. Okay, now I'm back. Now we're going to get started on my version of braised short ribs topped with a wine glaze sauce. First thing we want to do is take a little bit of the olive oil and put over your meat. Then you want to do your seasonings, which I went with a Canadian steak seasoning because it have like the ground black peppers, herbs, probably a seasoning salt, anything you could think of to bring that flavor out of your meat. This Canadian seasoning does have it. It has a nice little kick to it. And I actually got this version from GFS, Gorton Food Service Stores. And it's going to look like I'm putting a bit much, but don't forget, I have to get in there and stir this meat around and get it everywhere. So, you can season to your taste palette. Then I'm going to go with a garlic powder. As much as you want, as less as you want. It's totally up to you. So, now we're going to set these to the side. With that olive oil and those seasonings, you just want to take and just mix it around evenly, or they could be coated evenly. And I know some people who do cook who may be watching this saying, well, if she's gonna braise them, why is she putting olive oil on it? Well, first off, the olive oil allows the seasoning to actually stick to your meat. And another reason is because I'm actually gonna sear these for about 5 to 6 minutes, 3 minutes on each side. I want to get it scorched on the surface before I actually put them in the oven to be done. Why? Because it adds texture to your meat. Okay, now that is done, I'm going to go ahead. That's how your meat should look, evenly coated. Now I'm going to go ahead and put them in the skillet and scorch them a little bit. Okay, now we have our skillet preheated. It's time for us to sear our short ribs off to get that nice little scorched texture I'm telling you guys about. This is what's going to bring that texture, and it's going to be really, really tasty. And what you want to do is allow them to get scorched on each side. Do not move your meat because you're messing with the natural flow of the juices. So allow them to sit for at least 3 to 5 minutes on each side. So we're going to let that cook. And we'll be back in a minute to flip to show you guys that nice sear on this. Okay, now we're back. I've actually let my short ribs cook for 5 minutes on one side to get that nice little scorch, nice little sear on them. So I'm going to flip them and show you guys what you're looking for before you actually braise them. See how nice that looks? That's actually adding texture. And by me not touching them, all that natural juices is still locked in the inside on that nice piece of juicy meat. I'm going to do a few more for you guys. And if you want to, instead of going side to side, a lot of people go to 4 corners on each side. It's totally up to you. That looks really, really good. And, oh, look at that baby. Okay. Okay, that's a nice sear. That's what you guys are looking for. Now we're going to let them cook on the other side. Again, do not touch till it's time to pull, or unless you're flipping them from side to side to side. My kitchen is smelling really good with this great aroma. I have me some good meatless greens going, but that's another tutorial, another day. So now we're back, and Remember earlier I told you guys these short ribs are going to be topped with a red wine glaze. So I want to let you guys know what I used to create my glaze. I created it myself. It actually turned out pretty well. So first of all, I actually cut my onions into rounds, which is nothing but little round circles. If you want to do julienne, which is strip cut, it's up to you. We use a red wine, your choice of red wine. I don't never be too particular with anything unless I'm doing like a particular dish like a burgundy or something. A Worcestershire sauce, soy, a pure clover honey, cayenne pepper, and a balsamic vinegar. And I'm also using 2 ounces of brown sugar. So first thing, I'm going to go ahead and saute these onions for about 5 minutes or so, just for them to cook down. Then I'll slowly start adding my ingredients, and after letting my wine sauce simmer for a little while, what I'm going to do is halfway through the cooking process of my short ribs, I'm actually going to open them up and pour the wine sauce on it so it can seep into the meat the way it should, so you could taste it in every bite. So we're going to let those saute, and then we'll start adding our stuff slowly. Okay, so now I've sauteed my onions and let them get a little soft. We're going to start adding these ingredients slowly. So the first ingredient I like to add is the brown sugar. Why? Because I want that brown sugar to melt down, and I don't want it to clump up with a cold product to the hot. So we're going to melt that down a little bit, which you can definitely see it melting down and getting caramelizing those onions, which that flavor is going to be freaking amazing. If you just do what I tell you guys to do, you will love it. Okay, so I want the camera guy to get in here so you guys can see how nicely that brown sugar has melted down. So that's what you're trying to do with your brown sugar. That way, once you add your cold wine, it's not going to clump. So you want to add your sugar first to melt it. Then you add your wine and your other liquids. So we're going to do about 2 to 4 ounces. Your decision on what kind of wine. I'm not really particular with that. Unless, again, if it's a particular dish, which is a beef burgundy or something like that. So I got my red wine in there. Now I'm going to add about a good 4 shakes of Worcestershire sauce. 4. Okay. I'm going to add about a good 2 to 4 shakes of soy. That soy adds a nice little salt content, so not much. The honey is going to help it thicken up, as well as that actual sugar. So you want to do about 2 to 4 squeezes of the honey, or whatever your taste buds may like. Cayenne pepper, I'm just doing a little bit of that to bring a little kick to it. A small kick. I can't do it how I like it because I like it burning up. But my husband, he's not really too keen about too spicy, so I'm just doing a little bit of a shake. And that little shake will go a long ways, actually. And I'm going to do a little bit of the balsamic vinegar. And maybe an ounce of that, because it's very, very intense and strong. So with the amount of short ribs I've decided to cook, I only need this much of a sauce. If you do more, you can just take what I've done and times it however many times you think you need it. So we're going to let this simmer, and it'll thicken up, and we're going to pour it over the meat. Okay, now I've let my short ribs cook for 1 hour and about 10 minutes. And I've already did my, whew, that smells so good. I've already did my red wine glaze sauce to go over it. But I want the cameraman to get in here to show you guys you don't need to add any type of liquids or anything to your meats. Why? Because meats have their own natural juices, and as they cook, they will seep out. And that's what you're looking like. So we have about 30 to 40 more minutes cook time on these, even though they pretty tender, but the tender the better. So that red wine glaze sauce, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pour it over it. And I'm pouring it over it now before they get all the way done, is because it allows it to soak into the meat. So every bite you guys take, you will be tasting some of this red wine glaze sauce on these awesome short ribs. So we're going to pop these back in the oven and let these finish cooking. And we're going to round this meal up in a short set. Thank you guys again. Okay, now I've let my beef braised ribs cook for 1 hour and 45 minutes. They have got tender to the touch. Now it's time to go ahead and plate up. But I want to show you guys how tender it should be before you even try to eat. In my opinion, if you like tough meat, you can do it before that. This is how tender it should be. Look how nicely that's pulling away. How juicy it is in that glaze. And that's some really good stuff. So now we are going to get ready to plate. And I want to just let you guys know, braised beef short ribs, voila. I would like to start off by thanking my subscribers who graciously took the time out to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I also want to let you guys know to please, I'm asking you guys to please get the word out there to start letting them know about Rita Davidson YouTube tutorial channel. And also I want to let you guys know that it's another business intertwined with this thing. It's Atir Catering and Event Planning, but you also need to know who's behind the camera. My husband, One Hell of a Writer Productions. He's a writer, and also, of course, he's the cameraman. So I have an IG page which you guys could check into, which is Atir Catering _1. I also have a Facebook page which is Atir Catering. I have an email address which is ritaAtir28@gmail.com. I also have a website which is www.atircateringeventplanning.com. So as you guys see, I have a plethora of different information tactics where you guys can get in touch with me from. You can email, ask me for questions pertaining to food or even events. I will be sure to get back with you. So please, please share the word. Rita Davidson.